Do not forget you were born to obey. Mother Jennifer holds a teacup staring at me. Her fingers tap the saucer like passing judgment. Father Daniel sits silently in a corner of the sofa. I stand in the center of the living room gripping an admission letter. Sunlight slips through the window, dust floating in the air. I take a deep breath, my palms sweaty. I say I will not accept this arranged marriage. Mother laughs coldly like she already knew my answer. She points at the door and says, "Who do you think you are? Your life is arranged by me, you have no right to resist." Father stands halfway, then sinks back, his eyes avoiding me. Mother walks over and slaps my face. The slap is loud like a seal being stamped. I turn my head, my eyes burning, but I do not back away. She says, "If you walk out, do not ever come back." I hear a door inside me slam shut. I grab my backpack and hold the admission letter tight. My steps are steady but shaking as I walk to the door. Father follows 2 steps then stops. He says, "Do not make a scene, go back to your room, we can talk." I do not look back, I say, "I am not your property." The door closes behind me like the world splitting apart. Carrying an old bag, I walk onto the street. The wind stings my eyes. My reflection looks fragile in the bus stop glass. I hold hope along with wounds. Audrey sees me, frowns and hugs me. She says I can sleep on her couch, no problem. I nod and say I will stand on my own soon. That night the living room light is dim like a small shelter. I lie on the couch holding books. The hum of the fridge is the only sound. It is not home, but safer than home. The next day I register at the community college. The staff looks at my papers and nods. I pay the fee and my heart aches. Then I go to a coffee shop asking for a part-time job. The manager looks at me 3 seconds and says 1-week trial. I tie on the apron, my fingers still trembling. The steam screams while I froth milk. Customers rush me and I grit my teeth, saying, "Coming right up." At night I restock shelves in a grocery store. My arms go numb carrying boxes. Streetlights flicker before turning on as I walk home. Cold night wind makes me curl into my coat. Life grinds down naivety like a whetstone. Every time I am scolded for being slow, I move faster. Every time someone doubts me, I work harder. One day a calm, elegant woman enters the shop. She watches me work and says, "You are very meticulous." Her name is Ella. She leaves a card. She says her company needs an intern assistant I can try. I hold the card like it is warm. Second week I go to her office for an interview. Files stacked like mountains on her desk. Ella asks why I want this career. I say because I want to change my fate by myself. She nods and lets me start the next day. The office smells of AC and paper. I organize documents and make spreadsheets. If I do not know something, I search it at night. Files lined perfectly neat. My notebook filled with tight lines of notes. Ella looks a few times, nodding, saying, "Keep it up." Someone accuses me of having connections. I laugh and say if I had connections, I would not be sleeping on a couch. No one cares about my explanation, but I keep going. Many nights I stay up practicing software. My eyes burn, but I refuse to sleep. 3 months later, the company gives me a full-time job. Salary is small, but for the first time I feel solid. I rent a tiny room with one small window. Outside is an alley, a trash bin, and stray cats. I buy a second-hand desk and bookshelf. The room is empty, but I sit with fire in my chest. I keep earning promotions, meeting more clients. Some say I am too young to understand anything. I show data and plans and answer calmly. They stare, then nod, saying, "Fine, let us try." For the first time I feel my worth recognized. Years later I start my own business. I put all savings into paperwork and a tiny office. The desk is old and the chair wobbles. I tape my first contract to the wall. At first no clients, the phone barely rings. Still I open on time and clean the office daily. I write proposals and hunt resources alone. A client rejects me saying I am too young. I bow and breathe deep in the stairwell. I tell myself I am never going back to the past. Ella visits sometimes to guide me. She says you have not won yet, but you are on the path. I nod with bright eyes. Soon small businesses try my services. I do well and they recommend more people. I hire my first employee. The air fills with busyness and hope. Plans and charts cover the office wall. I work late nights, my lamp guarding my desk. That is when I meet Michael Reynolds. He walks in asking about growth data. He listens closely. He says you have great ideas. I meet his steady, gentle eyes. We drink many coffees together. One day he holds my hand and I do not pull away. We walk together under late-night streetlights. Wind lifts his coat, I lean close. Our little place has an old couch and warm light. He cooks, I wash dishes, we live quietly side by side. One day I tell him I am pregnant. He hugs me and says we will do this together. The day Emma is born, I grip his hand. Her first cry is loud like a tiny declaration. My tears fall on her forehead and I shake with joy. My business keeps growing. I buy a bigger office. One employee becomes dozens. Glass meeting room walls reflect my stance. I stand firm, my voice confident. Media interviews me about my journey. I never mention my family, only hard work and belief. I never went back to that house. Never made a single call. Until one day I hear Daniel needs surgery. Old wounds and softness collide inside me. I stand at the old door holding Emma. The bell chimes and the wood door opens slowly. Jennifer freezes, eyes flickering with panic. She sees Emma and her expression turns complicated. Daniel leans on the sofa, seeing me, his eyes red. I say calmly, I am not here for forgiveness. I am here to show you I am doing well. Emma clings to my leg, curious about the house. I say she will never accept depression or control. Jennifer lowers her head, her hands shaking, setting the cup down. Daniel whispers, I am sorry. His voice sounds like snow melting too late. Later I invite Father to join a project at my company. He works earnestly, more grounded than before. Mother sometimes helps watch Emma. She is clumsy but tries her best to be gentle. I give them chances but keep boundaries. Monthly dinners, weekly video calls. No dependence, no escape. Emma runs into my arms calling mommy. I hold her, feeling steady and calm. Now I stand by my office window watching the night. City lights spread like answers to a long road. From being driven out to building my world. I did not take revenge, I simply lived louder. Disdain and wounds swallowed by time. They once thought I would break and vanish. But I am here, shining by my own strength. Mother is still stubborn sometimes, but now restrained. Father says you are braver than anyone. I never asked for their approval. I let reality speak for me. My life belongs to me. I walked from darkness into light. Every step planted in dignity. Forgiveness for me is not surrender but freedom. I no longer need their definition. Now they treat me with care, afraid to yell. They know I will never back down again. And I simply raise my eyes and move forward. True revenge is no longer being hurt. True victory is peace and strength ever after.